Yo, what up, Deuce? What up, Seppuku? Chillin'. Gonna work on an eval. A couple evals. Work on some evals. And try and not lose a bunch of No, I'm waiting, Deuce. I took a trade. I took a trade last night. I was watching this area during Asia session and I ended up going short. We came up, we slammed back down when this candle opened up. I basically went short with a stop right above this candle, and I was aiming for these lows down here. So on one of my evals, I ended up taking an L. It's alright though, because I was aiming for these lows, which I would have actually gotten stopped out if I held it, or if I moved to break even, I would have gotten stopped out anyways. I was kind of upset at this at first, but then once this played out the way it did, it was like, alright, you know, it wouldn't have really worked out anyways. Now, later on, once we put in London highs, we actually came down. But as of right now, what up, Trends? As of right now, this is kind of what I'm looking at, okay? So we had this little move down. It's like a pull back away from all-time highs, right? Then earlier this week, we started shifting structure back to the upside. It really started happening around Wednesday when we made this move up, and then we created balance right here. We consolidated a little bit, and now we're pushing up again. At this point, the most important area that I'm looking at for today is 29,660. So in the event that we get above that, we're going all-time high. Now, there is a chance that today we may not go to all-time high. We may, you know, potentially consolidate or move up into 660 and kind of rotate back and forth. But realistically, you know, this is still very much bullish. We moved down a little bit for some time being. We took these lows, but now we're making our push back up. If we don't hit all-time high today, then chances are heading into next week, we could, if we are going to move down, potentially just create a higher low before we actually go up there. But to be honest, I think it's more likely that we just kind of shoot up. So I'm kind of watching. The most important area for me this morning is what I circled on the chart. So we're watching up where London highs are. So, you know, we may push down, we may mess around in here. We're in positive gamma territory, so we may see a little bit of rotational behavior, but if we do get acceptance above the call wall, then I am expecting us to start going all-time high, realistically. So we shall see. Whoops. And then once we're back at all-time high, it's back to price discovery. So, I mean, at this point, again, when we're doing this, realistically, you know, pullbacks into discount should just be treated as opportunities to try and go long. But yeah, one of my evals is down from last night because I took a short right here. I actually took 2 shorts. I took 1 short right here, and then I took another short up here, so that one's down a little bit, but you have a short at 635 from London. Huh. So we went 200 points in profit and you didn't take it? A 1 micro? Oh, then just, I don't know, if you want to hold it, then hold it. Just put it to break even. And then if we rotate lower and we drop down, then you might be able to catch 250 points. Because if we are going to move down, I'm looking for us to take these lows we created before, earlier this morning. What up, Bazooka? Yeah, so that's kind of the outlook for today. If you guys ever want to know what my outlook is, I write them or I type them out every morning in the Discord. I know that sometimes on YouTube you guys aren't in the Discord, but if you ever want to know what my outlook is, I literally post it like every morning. But again, the point of an outlook or a pre-market plan is just for structure. It's not necessarily to try and predict what the market's going to do. Like, that's not what my goal is. I just need to be able to have somewhat of a plan, right? You should always have a plan heading into market open. If price does this, then maybe we should see this. If price does that, then maybe we might see this. Just so that, like, you know, as price begins to move 1,000,000 miles an hour at the open, you're not like zoomed in and being like, you're not like changing your bias back and forth. It's good to just kind of take a little bit of that decision making out of it, because for most of us, the time where we're going to be most like mentally clear is going to be pre-market before you start taking trades. So it's better to try and make some decisions or think about things before you start trading and before your emotions start getting involved, right? And whatever you do, if you're gonna have a bias, you gotta know where you're wrong. You gotta know where you gotta adjust. Today though, pretty simple game plan. Just wait to see us push up into the call wall, basically at 660, and then see what happens. So it's market open. It's a nasty drop, but we're having a lot of activity in this area, so we might just wait. If we do begin to push up from here, though, I am expecting us to make our way towards 660 and London highs. I'm actually going to try and go long right here for a quick scalp. If we're gonna push up, we just got to get past this area. I think we're good. All right, I'm just gonna get out of that for now, just for 440 bucks. I just don't want to hold it into call wall and have us get some nasty reaction. We're just trying to make our way towards a funded account here with Lucid. It just, when we push down like this and we saw those sellers come in and then they just immediately got rejected and we start pushing up, I mean, what were we talking about the whole time? Where do we think we're going? We're probably coming up here, so we could just follow that momentum on the break above these highs. You can easily catch like 25 points. So we're currently, I think we caught like 90 ticks or something. So now that we're pushing up into here, we're watching it. We got London highs. I probably could have held that, but it's okay. We're watching London highs, we're watching call wall. We may overshoot it. Don't, if you're looking for a break and then a breakout upwards, I would be careful. Because we may like overshoot and snap back. Or we may just shoot through it, say F everything else, and then just go straight to all-time high off the open. We do that sometimes, so. I mean, all-time high is really not that far away. So we'll see, we'll wait a little bit. We'll see if there's an opportunity for me to catch another, I don't know, $1,000. Try and pass this Lucid account on Friday. And then I'll probably move over to another eval. The only problem with my other evals is that they're on the Alpha Trader program, like platform. And it's been tweaking. It has been tweaking. Yesterday, I don't know if you guys saw, oh shit, wrong thing. Yesterday, I don't know if you guys saw, but I was trading on the Alpha Trader platform, and then it like was adding random limit orders. I was in a trade, I got out of it, it didn't give me my profits, and then they had to add it back later. It was just kind of chaotic. So just be aware though that like we are pretty deep in positive gamma territory. So there is a chance we may see a little bit of some back and forth. It's not a guarantee, but I'm just prepared for it. You're 35, your girlfriend wants to start trading. Where should she start? She is 18, by the way. Yeah, W. But sorry, that just kind of threw me off. But that's dope. I would say bro, is this guy a Giga Chat or something? Damn. I would say YouTube. That's the best place to start learning how to trade. YouTube. YouTube, trial and error. Buy cheap eval. Try and not blow it. I mean, well, you're gonna blow it probably. Try and not blow it quickly. If you can buy, if you're just learning how to trade futures and you buy your first eval and you hold on to it for like a few weeks before you blow it, not bad. That's pretty good. Most people will just immediately blow their first account. because they don't understand sizing, they don't understand risk management. They're just kind of like throwing darts at a dartboard with their eyes closed. So first thing to learn before any type of, I mean, I guess you got to learn a strategy. If I recommend any new trader, I always recommend that they learn the orb. It's hard to mess that one up, dude. Like, you literally have an opening range, you wait for it to break, you wait for a retest, and then you enter it. It's probably the most beginner friendly strategy, and it's a good strategy too. Alright, so we're pushing above 660 right here, but I want to see if we're actually going to hold above this area. If buyers have acceptance, or we get acceptance above here and buyers hold, then we're probably just going to make a run to all-time high. Let's mark out all-time high. We'll put it as all-time high. Actually, I need to put this to the right. There we go. All-time high. We're seeing us push above it. We might actually go there pretty quickly, so I might, depending on how this candle closes, if the next one opens up and immediately retraces back down into where the big trade, the low volume node is, I might just try and take a continuation on it. Risk the profits that I currently have, but it just depends how it closes. The 30-second orb, never, but that sounds pretty crazy to me. I used to trade, there was a moment in time where I only traded the 30-minute orb for a while. It was actually pretty good. I just got over it. The 15-minute orb, I think, is probably one of the best ones. It's what I would recommend, 15 minutes. Alright, so we're holding above this. One thing to note, though, is we do have Michigan sentiment at 7 a.m. Pacific. So I gotta set an alarm for that. We got 20 seconds left in this 5-minute candle. If we close pretty strong, we might just be shooting up. And I'm willing to risk my profits. I'm actually not going to use a mini, though, if I'm going to take that. Because I'll need to have kind of a bigger stop loss. So if this retraces right now into this area, I'm going to use smaller size, and I'm going to try and just long it. Unless it just wants to run right here, but if it does, it's fine. I'm watching this right here. Well, not anymore. It's not as... Usually whenever I'm trying to take a continuation off the momentum like this, I want to make sure that when we open up, we like immediately pull back into this area. You see strong buying here. You have a large buyer. You also have a low volume node. It's a good area to look for a bounce, but it's just you don't want it to go above this candle first and then start slamming back. So I'm probably not gonna take it. Yeah, there's 30-second. That's pretty fire. I know a guy who catches fire entries on the 15-second time frame. So I'm trying to see right now if we're gonna actually hold above 660 or if we're gonna slam back down. The call wall right now currently moved to 740. It's probably gonna flip back and forth in between this level and this level. They're gonna like the call wall will change from up here. If we push down, it'll move back here. If it pushes back up, it'll move up here. I'm gonna get this off my chart though. Now, if we do end up just totally turning around right here, then this down here could potentially be where we're going, but we have buyers stepping in when they're trying to push below. There's also potential too, by the way, which I'm trying to make sure I don't get caught in, that we actually kind of get pinned right here, which I hope that doesn't happen. Yo, my bad about the this part of my screen being all jacked up. The I haven't changed it for how trade C is. I mean, you can still see, right? It's like says 51969 and then 446 for profits. But yeah, I need to change that later. I'm just kind of lazy to change it. What do I think about Apex? I've tried Apex. They're chill. Their new accounts are more chill. Before, I thought it was bullshit. Anything that has unrealized trailing, however they want to call it, real-time trailing, intraday, off of unrealized gains. Anything that's based off of unrealized gains trailing is a scam. You guys should not be... Well, it's not necessarily a scam, but it's definitely one of the worst rules. It's definitely one of the worst rules. Now, sometimes though, those accounts that have unrealized trailing, if you get past the drawdown and it stops trailing, they become some of the best accounts to have. But for most traders, you're going to... Like, I know people who unrealized trailing drawdown really does not affect them whatsoever, which, if that's you, that's fine. But, you know, there's nothing worse than blowing an account on a trade where you didn't necessarily lose money. And then they tell you it's like, well, trail your stop then, like... But sometimes, you know, especially if we have very large ATR. So, like, I'm sure you guys have noticed, right? Let's say recently in the past month or whatever... you see these candles that have like these random wicks and then they snap back. Well, if you were in a position and you were using too heavy of size, let's say you're using a mini on a 50k and then we wick 100 ticks and snap back and it hits your break even, well, then you just lost $500 of drawdown for no reason. You know what I mean? So it's kind of dangerous. You didn't lose on the trade, but you lost drawdown. But every once in a while, I'll buy those the new Apex end of day accounts. It's just sketchy sometimes, dude. Like, people like, I don't know, like the people that trade Apex that I know, they like celebrate when their payout gets approved. I don't really like how that, I don't like that. Why are you celebrating that they approved your payout? That should just be like that should just be like a given, no? You know what I mean? Like, the fact that you got to celebrate that they approved it is kind of sketchy to me. Although, as long as you follow their rules, technically they won't deny your payout. You know, a lot of people who cry about getting their payouts denied is because they fucking didn't follow the rules. You gotta just read the rules. So right now this area is kind of sketchy to me, so I'm not gonna touch it right here, but we are currently holding back below 660. I do use Top Step, I just, not right now. Well, here's the problem. I'm on Lucid right now. I had some Top Step accounts earlier this month. I blew them. And then I bought Alpha Futures. So here's the thing. I started buying other prop firms once Top Step removed their payout cap. Like when they decreased it from 5,000 to 2,000. It's like, all right, well, that was like the only edge that you had over other firms. So if you're gonna cost, let's just say you cost $95 for a 50K, but now you have a $2,000 payout. Well, so do all the other firms at this point. So who's got the better deal, right? So Lucid had like a 40% off or something. You know, they're like $70. So I'm not gonna buy a Top Step account now because there's deals. But you know, I'll still trade them. I think Top Step is great, honestly. I love that firm. They have paid me out without any issues plenty of times. My top 3 firms right now are definitely Top Step, Lucid, and Alpha. Top Step, they have the option to not do an activation fee. So like I never think about, or I never pay for the accounts that have activation fees. I would prefer not to ever pay for an activation fee. I'd rather just pay for $100 for a 50K. Either I pass it or I don't. I just was talking about that, Din, about Apex. Summary is they're fine. It's fine on the end of day trailing. Alright, so we're pushing down a little bit. We're holding below 660. I'm probably going to wait for the hourly candle to open. Current hourly candle's looking pretty nasty right now. This wick's pretty nasty. But I want to see how it actually closes, though. We came up, we overshot 660 a little bit, we took London highs, and then now we're kind of back in this area. If we get back above 660, we're probably going all-time high. there is a chance that we could potentially just rotate around for a little while. We have Michigan sentiment at the same time as the hourly open, so probably gonna wait. We caught like basically a little over 20 points on the pump up. So we're up 446. We're gonna risk the profits if we find an opportunity to try and pass the account today. But if there's no opportunity, then I will just sit here for a little while. I keep looking at my alpha trader platform to make sure they're not putting any weird limit orders in. Like earlier this morning before I started the stream, I was looking at my alpha trader platform and they had a 20 micro limit order sitting somewhere. I was like, what the fuck? I didn't even put that there. So it's like giving me anxiety. I gotta like check it every 5 minutes to make sure they're not trying to put me in a trade. It's having a lot of issues, but I think once they kind of smooth it out over the next few weeks, it'll be a pretty cool platform. But every new platform usually has issues, although the issues with Alpha Trader right now is pretty bad. It's pretty bad. So I'm like I'm scared to even kind of like trade them. And I'll have 3 evals on there that I need to trade. Any IFVG trades? No, I don't really trade that. No, you don't have to use their new platform. I wanted to test it out. And then they had like this 50% off, and then like I was like, all right, let me buy some, right? And now I'm like sketched out to trade it. Yeah, last time we did trade a 30-second inverse fair value gap. But I did that with 1 micro because I was just joking. Because I don't really trade that. I was thinking about using take profit. The only thing about take profit that kind of just is sketchy to me is again, like I really don't like unrealized trailing. Like I don't know if you guys, I mean, I'm sure you guys have probably noticed by now, but there are plenty of times where like I take a trade, it runs like 50 points in profit, and then it comes back to my break even because I might have been, you know, aiming for like 100 points or whatever. And I like doing that because I'm not putting like 100-point stop losses, so it makes my wins larger than my losers. And then if I'm trading an unrealized account, then I gotta like change the way that I trade and then like trail stop pretty tight, which if I really want to, I can do it. Like I've traded unrealized trailing accounts before and I've passed them, but I would prefer not to. So, but I think Take Profit is a good firm. I just don't like I just really don't like the trailing, the unrealized trailing. That's like my most hated rule. I hate it more than consistency rules. Because consistency rules are really not that bad, I guess, but unrealized trailing for the way that I trade is just brutal. Like there was one time I had like the OG Apex account, right? And I was in profit on the day, like $1,000 on the PA, and I took a short, and it was moving down, and I was trailing stop, and I was in a little bit heavy. Okay, I was in like it's like first day on the PA. I was in a little heavier than usual. I added into like a mini, okay, and some news came out where it caused this nasty whiplash where like the candle went like boom boom, and it blew my account at break even. I was like, what? I was in profit on the day. It blew my account because it hit break even because of unrealized trailing, and then ever since then I was like, never again am I going to buy one of those accounts. But maybe I'll change my mind in the future. Probably not though. So the hourly is going to open up, the 4 hours is going to open up, and we have Michigan sentiment. This hourly is going to close pretty nasty with a pretty big wick to the upside. The POC right now is sitting up here at 48. So if we close like this and we push up, if we push up here towards the POC of the hourly and 660, and then we see buyers fail and we begin to rotate lower, I might actually try and short it, but we'll have to see. But I do pay attention to the hourly POC. So this essentially gets created as like this will be like a zone I'm gonna watch. CVD, yeah, CVD is pretty good. I don't really use it. It's a good way to spot absorption. Trends, I do copy trade sometimes, but honestly, like April and especially this month, I really haven't been doing that well. So whenever I realize that I'm not really doing that well, I try and not copy trade accounts, because if I'm causing damage, I gotta isolate it. I was trying to copy trade earlier this week. Oh, that's gross. I was trying to copy trade earlier this week. I realized it wasn't a good idea to do it. Damn, that happened pretty fast. I'm gonna remove this. This is kind of messy right now. Let me up this. There's a lot of transactions happening today. It's Friday though, so. Alright, so as we continue to push down, I'm watching this area. I said I was looking up here, but this happened pretty fast. Right before the close, we like opened up and slammed down. At 448. Let me make sure they didn't put me in any trades on Alpha Trader. Alright, we're good. Yo, Chris, how big of a win streak are you on right now? You're killing it. You must be on like a 15-day winning streak or something. $18. Sheesh. Nice, that's awesome. Earlier this year, I had a 31-day winning streak. I felt like I was the shit, and then I blew an account after it. Nice. Dude, sometimes winning streaks stress me out because I don't know what it is, but like if I go on a winning streak, sometimes the day that the winning streak ends is usually like a really bad day. Like a really bad day. I gotta chill with that though. But they do make me nervous sometimes. I don't know. I think sometimes it's because like if I go on a long enough winning streak, it starts to become like an ego thing where I'm like, oh yeah, like I'm just winning every day, and then I want to keep it going, and then I end up trying to force some stuff. Well, at least he ended in profit. But yeah, that could get a little sketchy. Yeah, I have to wait. There's nothing for me that I can kind of trade right here. I'm not really trying to take a continuation lower. I was trying to look for shorts up here. So now that we move down, I'm gonna wait. We keep having these spikes of selling pressure show up, and then they kind of just like pause for a second. Although this is looking like it wants to continue its way down here, unless we start seeing something that tells me otherwise. I mean, there's a lot all throughout this move right here. There's a lot of selling, so it'd be kind of hard for me to long anything in this area unless we really start pushing up. Dude, you know what I was looking at recently, which I've never traded before, but I was looking at YM, dude. I don't know. I don't know if it's just me, but YM seems like it's been moving a little cleaner during New York. Do I just become a YM trader? Dude, it has some pretty clean moves, I'm not gonna lie. The only thing about YM though is it's not CME, it's CBOT, so I gotta buy CBOT data to trade it. I don't know. It's been having, I mean, obviously, like, this is kind of gross, but it does have some pretty nice moves. NQ's been a little nasty recently. A lot of opportunity on NQ though. It literally can't beat it. It's like the tick value and how much it moves is pretty crazy. So as long as we're kind of in this area, I'm probably going to just sit on my hands. What did this come from? Pre-market. All right, so if we do begin to push up, we have to, I'm not willing to take a long right here. I would like to see us, if we are going to actually continue back up, we need to really get past all of this before I even consider trying to go long again. Or we gotta drop all the way down here and then I might go long, but we're kind of like in this area where I just don't really want to go short, don't really want to go long. Gotta just sit here. Thankfully, I took that scalp at open, so we're up a little bit. This was the entry right here, though. Right here. Slam back below 660, open up, push up into the big sellers, and could have just gone short. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. I got distracted. I was looking at a continuation long, actually, I think, up here, so. Good thing I didn't take that. Woo! Would have lost on that one. I don't know. If nothing happens though, or if volume begins to taper off, then I'll probably just end it with that one trade at the open. I'm gonna wait a little bit though. I'm being a little less aggressive on my evals recently, dude. My pass rate is so bad this month. It's so bad. And it's because I've been just full porting them. Usually when I full port evals, I'm at least at like a 60% pass rate or like 50%. This month it's so bad, it's terrible. It's like a 25%. It's embarrassing. You gotta buy 10 evals to pass 2. Like, oh. That's so bad, dude. So I have to stop full porting them for now. And actually trade them normally. So I don't lose a bunch of money. Yo, does anyone know? Is it a half day? Is it a half day on Monday? Does anyone know? Half day? Okay. Alright. So then... I don't know. I probably won't trade. Nah. I'll sit here. I'll sit here and I'll pay attention. Every once in a while on half days we have like really clean price action, but a lot of times it's just BS. Well, you'll never know unless you sit there and you show up. But it's definitely not ideal, I guess. So if we can push past all this mess right here, get back towards 660, get back above it, there may be something to take. Or if we just retest this area and we fail, but my eyes are still set up here. I don't want to trade in the middle of this. Like if this is the established range, like let's just say swing low to swing high, right? We're like sitting right here at the 50. It's kind of, I don't like trading in the middle of it. Although this could be buyers getting absorbed and we could potentially roll over, but that's just kind of like a suboptimal trade. This is not looking very good for the Bulls.
from those positions. Now, when played back simultaneously on two separate systems, the sounds are
Later, Chris.
to achieve a new dimension in sound, impossible to obtain in a monaural recording.
We're not really seeing buyers be able to push this back up. They're kind of just getting absorbed right here. So it looks like sellers are defending this. We may go lower. This is just terrible location to try and take a trade from me. I don't know, if we see buyers like really try and step in hard again and then they fail, I might risk my profits and short it. But if we're just gonna like kind of slip down, I'll just let it go. Oh, we could create a poll. Yeah, let's get a P&L check. Let's get a P&L check. I'm gonna do it here too. Start a poll. P&L check. Dude, I didn't know I could do these. Did that work? Yeah, I think it worked. Green. Oh yeah, we need a no trade selection. A both option? Yeah, green on one account, red on the other. An account blown option? Nah. Nah. Not on a Friday. That sucks. If you blew your account. So we pushed down, buyers tried to step back in, they got absorbed, we're rotating back lower. The hourly is looking pretty gross for buying. Looks like we're probably coming down here. More sellers stepping in. Let's see if they're gonna actually continue this. This was actually a pretty good opportunity to try and take a short when we saw buying aggression fail. It's just not in location for me to try and trade it. Damn. YouTube chat, we're 67% red. What's going on? What's going on, dude? I don't know. Hopefully we could turn that around. We got time. Unless you're like really down, then you should just, if you're like really red, you should just enjoy your weekend. Unless you refuse to be red, then it's not the way you should be thinking about it. But if you do refuse to be red, we'll see if we can turn it around. Which might end up in a blown account for somebody. I don't really use the TPO, Bob. There's a lot of things that I think are great if you can incorporate it well with your strategy that I just do not use. I don't like looking at too many things. I went through like this phase of just adding a bunch of shit to my charts. So I gotta cut that. I had to cut that out. Now I know it may look like my charts right now. Like you may just see lines everywhere, so you're like, well, what the fuck, you know? But yeah, like imagine I have all these lines and then I start adding like VWAP and EMAs and like TPO charts and CVD, and it'll start looking crazy. Really, all I need to see at the end of the day, all I need to see is where are the highs and lows sitting, what is gamma looking like, and then what do we look like on here? Like where's the, well, first of all, where's the premium and discount of current ranges, and then what's happening between buyers and sellers once we enter location. That's literally all I really need to see. I don't really care about anything else. Yeah, it's funny you actually bring that up because I was just talking about that earlier with a friend of mine. Mentor Q, every vendor, okay, so when it comes to gamma, every vendor is going to have a different model calculation, different calculation of levels. So they all pull from the same data. Okay, so most gamma tools are going to pull from the same options data, and they apply different models for how they calculate their levels. But something you have to note, okay, is none of them can actually see the dealer's book directly. Okay, so they're all making approximations. Now, if you're trying to think like, well, which one's more accurate? there's not really like an objective truth to it. I've tested a few of them. I've looked at Mentor Q. I've looked at spot gamma, vol signals, and the levels may differ. Now, on a very obvious day, like you'll usually see the major levels align, but there are days where things are different. What I've noticed is that like if I go and I look at Mentor Q levels, right, they work. They work if you want to use them, and it works for how you trade. Great, use them. I like Tanuki Trade because the levels work for me. I think they work just fine, and I love their I like the fact that they update intraday. So like for example, Mentor Q, I was watching something yesterday that said that they were going to start incorporating real-time intraday updates. Right now they're doing 15-minute snapshots, so it's like technically updating intraday, but like Tanuki Trade will literally update not on the trading view but on their platform right here. They update like every minute, so I like looking at how dealer positioning changes throughout the day depending on what's happening. And I like what they display. They also show me, you know, net volume and the open interest, as well as like, it's just I don't know, I just like their platform, you know. So some people may sit here and argue that one is better than the other, but just remember, at the end of the day, they are all taking the same data and having their own proprietary model to calculate levels. None of them can see what the actual dealers have on their books. They're just making an approximation. So the best one for you is whichever integrates cleanest with your trading style and consistently lines up with what you care to look at. I guess that's the easiest way to say it. So I like Tanuki Trade, and I do, disclaimer, I do now work with Tanuki Trade, so take that as you want, but I tested out a few of them and I like their platform. Vol Signals is also pretty cool. I like Vol Signals too, but they just charge too much. It's just too expensive. But Vol Signals, if you want to learn about Gamma, they have a great YouTube channel that teaches about GEX. But I personally use Tanuki Trade. Tanuki Trade. So hopefully that answers your question. It probably doesn't, because you're trying to figure out which one to use, and I gave you a very ambiguous answer to it, but I don't know, test them out, dude. The cool thing about Tanuki Trade is they give you a free trial. Mentor Q, I'm sure you can get a free trial too. I don't know if they do that, but you can just see which one you like better. So I'm watching this area right now. We're coming back into the area where buyers got absorbed. We'll see if they're going to push through it, or if we're going to end up kind of like compressing around here. The volume is tapering off right now, so it's not really a super good sign, but Kind of a slower session, honestly. This is a great session to potentially blow an account. Damn, that's crazy. That's crazy. So your 18-year-old girlfriend dumped you. You stole her wheelchair and she came crawling back. Wow. What a cold guy. That's cold. That's evil, dude. What up, little Fant? Alright, we may see a little bit of this. If that happens, oh no. I got 25 minutes until my hard cutoff time. Which, I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys, this month I have not been following, which has resulted in many blown accounts, so I'm gonna start following it again. I usually stop trading an hour and a half after open, but I don't know, like, last month and a half, the open's been kind of weird, and then out of nowhere, like later during lunch or the afternoon, we just like get a really nice move, so I've been trading after, and I just I don't do well. There's a reason why I had that rule. I don't know, that's a good question. I was just trying to look it up right now, Fant. I don't know. I mean, I would imagine you probably could, because Bitcoin has ETFs, but I don't know. I'm gonna just leave it at that. I don't know. Test it out. I'm currently watching volume. If volume begins to drop below 20,000 per 5-minute candle, I'm gonna stop. And we'll take our little $400 profit on an eval. Although if we make our way back up here to 660, I'm going to be paying attention again. See if we're going to accept or reject it. So. If we are gonna go up, I just need us to get past all this. Technically, I'm bullish with you, Rocket. I'm bullish. I just don't want to take a long in this area. I'm just waiting. $485 was your entry from pre-market? Down here? $495, okay. Wow. Wow. The man himself strikes again. you catch that entry and then join the live, the flex? I love it. That's a fire entry, dude. Good shit. Where are you holding it? All-time high? $287 points. I would like an opportunity to go long to join in on this party, but I gotta wait. Oh. At the very minimum, I would like us to at least get above this area. Potentially push up. And go like that. Potentially. Create a little bit of some structure. Unless we just skyrocket all the way up, then it is what it is. Dude, this is an interesting indicator. Well, it's good to see the poll. People are agreeing. I'm gonna start doing that more often. That's cool. I didn't know I could do polls. We'll start it off in the morning with bullish or bearish. Yeah, we'll do that one. We'll see what the poll says. So far, though, this session, there's really only been 2 opportunities for how I trade. It was just the longs at the open and shorts right here, but I didn't take these. Hopefully, 15 minute opens up, and we continue a push upwards. And then we try and pile in on that train after we get above this area right now. Oh, I gotta check Alpha Trader, make sure they didn't throw me in anything. Alright, we're good. I think we're good. Alright, new 15-minute. Let's see if we 13. Let's see if we continue this push up. Nice, Rocket. Banger trade. 138 points, let's go. What up, Nicholas? Yeah, I'd like to see us get above here, but we're getting real close. This last candle was like 20,000 contracts, so if it drops below that, I have to. It will be officially low volume conditions for New York. IFVG. On what? On the 15-second? Oh, nice. You're doing pretty well on the Tradeify. Oh, that's a good entry. It's like the same as Rocket. Oh, today's the last day, huh? Oh yeah, that's brutal. So we're currently holding previous 15-minute POC. We may get that continuation higher, but I don't really want to long it just yet. I don't know. Maybe we just take our little 25-point play, 23-point play, and just call it a day. I don't know, what would Rocket do? What would Rocket do? Yeah, I know, that's what I'm worried about. That's why I don't want to go long. if I'm gonna go long, honestly, I would need us to push past 660, hold above it for a little bit, create structure, and then start pushing back up, and then I would end up targeting up here and up here. It's kind of a lot that needs to happen for me to want to go long, but then we're approaching the time I gotta stop. I just don't want to like try and go long premature. We drop down, we do this, we do this. We're dropping below 20,000. Oh, a box.
You see, stereophonic sound for the home is recorded on 2 separate tracks. Each one
Is that
special emphasis to certain
is that a 633?
Now, when played back simultaneously
Oh, never
on
mind.
2 separate systems, the sounds are blended together to achieve a new dimension in sound impossible to obtain in a monaural recording.
Did you draw that based off of this? Did I just crack the rocket sauce? Did you draw this off of off of this? He's gonna say no. He's gonna say no. What else is over there? Nah, you definitely drew it off of something right there. You definitely drew it off something. How much have I spent on evals this year? Like 10 grand. It really wasn't that much until April and May. It got pretty bad April and May, dude. Start off pretty clean though. Start off pretty clean. What I was bringing in a bunch of funded accounts during I basically lost a bunch of funded accounts at the beginning of March. That's where it all started going downhill. No, it's just payouts after split. I'm trying not to like rack up fees or whatever. But no, I talk about how much I spend versus like money in, money out on my monthly recaps though. Although this month and last month they caused a lot of damage in terms of money spent, unfortunately. But we still got a lot of time left in the year. You know, we can just turn it around. So the goal right now, while I'm not doing that well, is just to contain damage, right? So like there was a moment in time during April and May, I was starting to get a little frustrated and like press the gas a little bit, which was a terrible idea. So we gotta calm down. That's why I'm trading this eval like this, like where I'm pretty careful about it. Instead of just slamming 3 to 5 minis like I usually do, I'm just trading it kind of like how I would trade a funded account instead. Just until I get some funded accounts back. And then also this month I got distracted too. I was like, I put money into a live account. I was doing the Robbins Cup competition. I was messing around on that Tradeify competition for a while. So like a good week and a half of this month, I really wasn't even trading prop firms like that, which really wasn't a good idea. So this month honestly is pretty cooked. May's cooked. I'm just trying to set myself up for June at this point, so that I don't have to spend a bunch of money in June. We'll just chalk up the L for the month of May. So last year I spent 8 months last year focusing on a small live account. For 8 months I didn't trade prop firms. Well, no, 7, either 6, maybe 6 or 8 months, I don't know. The first half of the year last year I wasn't trading prop firms. So I pulled in 2025, I pulled a payout at the beginning of the year with Top Step on their old dashboard, and then I took that money, put it into a live account, traded that live account, went back and forth on it, trading one micro for like 6 to 8 months. It started with 500, it got up to like 2,500, and then I eventually ended up blowing it, or it came back down to 500, and then I took the money out of it. And then I started trading prop firms, I think in May or June. No, probably June. And then I started pulling payouts again in July, late June, early July. And then for that 6 months, I pulled, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I think it was like 30 or 40,000 in payouts towards the end of last year. And then I spent a decent amount. I spent like $12,000. I was net positive every month with the firms, but yeah, I kind of spent a lot on fees. So the goal for this year was to try and spend less money on fees, and then I kind of fucked it up. But we got a lot of time left in the year. You know, we got a lot of time left. Trying not to cause a bunch of damage. I think I can get it to, I think I could probably get up to 100k payouts, and then try and keep, the goal is to try and keep money into like 20% of money, like, you know what I mean? Like if you pull 100k, for me at least, if I pull 100k in payouts, the goal is to only spend like 20 grand in like fees. That would be ideal, 20%. You know, there's a lot of people that, you know, live stream or they trade or whatever, and they pull a lot of payouts, but they're also spending a lot of money on fees, you know? So it's important to understand like money in, money out, because we care about making money. You know, if I go and I pull $10,000 in payouts, but it cost me $10,000 to get $10,000 in payouts, is that really that impressive? No. You know what I mean? A lot of people actually do that. You know, they'll brag about like a payout. Like let's say someone pulls like a 15,000. Like there's this guy I follow on Twitter. I'm not gonna say his name, but he pulled like $90,000 in payouts so far this year, but he spent $75,000. Is it real? Is that really that impressive at that point? Nah, not really. Yeah, I do size up when I have a buffer. I usually go like 5 to 10 micros, depending on ATR, until I have a buffer. Buffer being like, I don't know, $4,000 in a 50k account. And I'll try and size up. Yeah, but this month is going to be, unfortunately, I'm going to have to do the monthly recap. It fucking sucks, dude. Like, this month is going to be the first month in basically in over a year where I probably am not going to be net positive with firms. But you know what? It happens, you know. Trading is not necessarily like linear. Bad months happen. The goal is to just not make a bad month like really, really, really bad, you know. Because I think this month so far I've spent like, I have the numbers somewhere. It's like 1,500 or 1,700 on accounts. So I'm like, and I haven't really done well this month. So we're probably gonna be in the red this month. But you know what? Like, it's fine, because it's 1 month. Can't let one bad month ruin an entire year. Because, you know, for example, in January, I spent like $860 on fees, and I pulled like $18,000 in payouts. And then February, I spent like $1,100 on fees and pulled like $15,000 in payouts or something like that. March was a little worse. March, I think I spent like $3 or $4 grand, and I pulled $10,000 in payouts. And then last month was terrible, and then this month I'm in the red. So kind of like a downwards projection, but we just gotta adjust. Get back on track, focus on execution. We'll turn it around by the end of the year. I'm sure of it. So we're back at 660. So I'm gonna sit here for a second, and I'm gonna watch to see if we're actually gonna get above it or not. But yeah, I think more people who, you know, post content about trading, they should be a little bit more transparent about how much money they're actually spending with the firms, because a lot of them don't talk about it. You know, they just like to show, oh, I pulled $40,000 in payouts from 20 Apex accounts. It's like, okay, well, how much did you actually spend to get that, though? Volume is extremely low right now. We came down, we retested POC to 15, we're pushing up in the call wall. If we hold above call wall, we'll probably hit these highs. Maybe an opportunity to try and... But it's just like, I don't know. I'm gonna decide in the next, like, we're past my time. I was supposed to stop at 8 a.m. It's 8:03, so I might stop. I just want to see what happens right here, because I waited for this to come back up here for like 30 minutes. Right here? You took that right here? Yeah, that's great. I think that's a great trade. That was what I was saying, is like there was only 2 entries from me today so far. Here and here. Now I'm watching, and this area is what you're looking at right here. So I'm waiting right now. Rocket says he's back in. I like the idea of continuation longs. Okay. How big is this from here to here? I'm gonna start a position with 5 micros with half size. If we pull back a little bit and then we see sellers basically fail to push price lower and we begin to rotate again up, then I'm going to add into the position. But for now, we'll just keep it 5 micros. And I'm going to be seeing if we can make our way up towards like 7, somewhere up here. If we get up here, I'll probably start trailing stop. Rocket, you're in with 5 minis? Wow. No, I gotta chill with the full porting evals for right now. I mean, you know, if this trade ends up working out, I'll be above 52,000. I could easily pass that. Oh, you're in 1 mini? Alright. Yeah, I'm not gonna I really hope a Trump candle doesn't come right now that goes to the downside, because I don't have a stop loss. If we push back towards like 660, 650, and then, or even 640, basically this 20-point range right here, if we push back into here from here to here, and sellers fail, we begin to rotate again, I'm going to add. Yo, just actually, this is stupid. Just in case there's a Trump candle, we're gonna put a stop down here. And this is going to be the last trade that I take for this session in the morning. Although when we come up here and we start to, if we take these highs, we push through these orders, like you guys can see it. If we take these highs up here, I am gonna move my stop to break even. This might take a while for it to play out. Hopefully the 15 minute causes us to actually start moving a little bit. When it opens up here in 5 minutes. Well, will it or will it not play out? Going for a 1-to-1. Dude, this thing's, the volume is low. It's moving slow as fuck. Dude, is Trump gonna talk today? Does anyone know that? Is there any Trump speeches today? I'm always scared about him saying something. Dude, my luck has just been terrible with those tweets. It's constant. You're shorting right now on ES? I don't know. Why are you shorting it? I don't know, it might work out. gonna take forever. You mean like this? Boss trader? What's up, Sandy? This is the DOM, and this is a technically a heat map. Pretty good. Just holding these longs, seeing if we're gonna go up. We're almost 25 points in profit, but it's low volume. We're moving kind of slow. We're probably gonna take these orders. I'm planning on moving to break even once we take the highs. But once we take the highs, I gotta be careful about us snapping back. So we're up earlier from the day from a long at market open. And then we sat here and we waited for us to get above this area. And then once we got above it, we started seeing buying pressure, enter in for a continuation. Went half size on it because if this pulls back and creates a low, I'm actually going to add into it. I hope it doesn't though. Honestly, I hope it just goes up at this point, because if it does curl back for a second, it's going to end up being a trade that may take like an hour. An hour or two. So I hope it doesn't do that. This is a 50K evaluation account with Lucid. Yeah, where I'm live basically every day. Sure. No, you're not allowed, actually. You're banned. We're gonna I'm gonna have Eddie actually create a specific role that doesn't allow anyone to join the live, and we're gonna assign it to you. Dude, is it just me that can't see the GIFs that you guys send, or can you guys see them? Because I can't really see them whenever you guys send GIFs in the live trading thing. I don't know if it's because I'm streaming. Oh. Eddie, do you know if there's a way to change that? I don't know why it just shows the link. No, every single time people send GIFs in here, I can't really see it. Can you put the book map, DX feed, order heat map in your chart? Yeah. Dude, my ATAS is frozen. Let's push through these orders. We got some sitting at 720, right at the highs. We have a big cluster of orders sitting right at these highs. You guys can't see it because I can't move my chart, but if we start punching through some of them, I'm gonna have to move my stop. Oh my goodness, this is like watching paint dry. The volume's getting even smaller. Alright, so we're now 25 points in profit. We were for a second. No, you know what I do play while I wait is I play Clash of Clans. Sometimes I'll raid. Sometimes I'll raid on Clash of Clans. Right now it's clan games, so I was doing that earlier. Oh, I have something to do pretty soon. Alright. This has got to start playing out a little faster because I gotta go do something in a little bit, so... Ooh, 86% green. Love to see it. See if this pulls back and then starts going up and I add to this. I still think it's going to work out, but this trade is just going to... I might just have to like keep it up, keep it open, manage it. I'll sit here for a while though, but... I don't know if I'll be able to stream this entire trade. But if it does come down and it gives me an opportunity that looks like a good spot to add, I'll probably add in another 5 micros, keep my TP where it's at, and probably stop where it's at. And then I'll either be down 500 on the day basically, or 600, or I will pass the account, so that's kind of the plan. We just really need a hold above 660. That's kind of the idea.
Each one giving special emphasis to certain sections of the orchestra, as heard from those positions. Now, when played back simultaneously on 2 separate systems, the sounds are blended together to achieve a new dimension in sound.
Slow day today. Slow Friday. I will say though, in terms of the 15-minute, if it's gonna close like this, is kind of sketchy. If it's gonna close like this, we may actually come all the way down to the open of this. The open of this. But I don't know. If we lose this trade, we will be down on the day $80. Or 100 and $100. Manageable. It's a manageable L. And we'll just try and pass it again next week. my goodness. Yeah, you're out of it. I want to see how this 15 minutes gonna close. Although I could just totally be wasting my time right now, but you know what? We came this far. We had a plan. I'm gonna see. The captain goes down with the ship. A backup floaty, what is that? Oh, if we go down with the ship. Looking directly into the camera is because I have a chart right here I'm looking at. I'm not looking at you, I swear. I'm looking at this 15-minute chart. Like, the camera's right here, and there's a 15-minute chart right here. Staring menacingly? Yeah, it's because I'm fucking bored of this trade. Regarding your footprint, do you care about stacked imbalances at all? Absolutely. Absolutely. If I see a candle that has a low volume node inside of it, like, okay, if I'm looking for a trade, okay, if this big trade rejects right here, I'm gonna have to get out of it. We need to accept past it if we're gonna continue this. If I see a low volume node and there's stacked imbalances inside of it, sometimes I'll use those for entries or even places to put my stop, like right below it. Rocket, why did you get out? We could have done this together. We could have won together. Yeah, stacked imbalances are important for what I look at. Yeah, he jumped ship. He took the lifeboat. The captain's got to go down with the ship. All right, we need to... Okay, so at this point, right? I am going to move my stop. I'm going to do it. I need to see us accept this big trade. I don't want to see us come all the way back down. The 15-minute POC is sitting here too, so I don't want us to get below it. So we will take a $25 win. Or a $620 win of fake Monopoly money with evaluations. Sorry, I can't move my footprint chart right now. It's like, I'll have to close it out. It's tweaking. If we see some buying aggression push through this right now where all these orders are stacked, you guys can't see it, but there's orders stacked right here around 720, which is also where the highs are at. I'm going to trail stop tighter to at least lock in like 25 points. It's sitting right here. So if we punch through it, we're going to have to trail, like, we'll trail it right below the big trade. It takes the highs. Because we're coming into the area up here where we could potentially rotate. I just want to see us punch through these orders, take the highs, drop this stop. I'm holding it right now. Drop the stop. Or if it just totally slams back right now, we'll take a break even. We've been in this trade for 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, almost 35 minutes. How's bro's trade working out on ES? Oof, it's going up. ES is bouncing off of its call wall right now, which is sketchy. Yeah, exhaustion. It requires, all of these things require location realistically. You can't just because you see exhaustion doesn't mean you should fade it. Honestly, I care more about aggression and failure of aggression. So I care more about like absorption, right? And more often than not, you know, I'm trading usually pretty close to market open, so you'll usually see more absorption rather than exhaustion happening because we're moving very quickly and there's a lot of volume. But if you get later into the day, you know, it makes sense to be paying attention to exhaustion. But again, location matters, so gotta just take that into account. Should we just abort mission right here? Nah. We'll just take the break even. I say that because that's not a good close for the 5 minute for where my break even's at. Unless we're gonna do a slow grind up, but I think we might dip. There's a pretty good chance we might dip and then pop up later. But we'll be up for 460 on the day. Not amazing. Kind of a slow session. Or should we just like, if this candle flips bullish, should we just double down? No, that's not a good idea. Alright, we're gonna get a little fancy here. I'm moving up my stop a little bit. So we'll end the day up 500 bucks. Which is basically right below this 5 minute candle. Wish I had entry at second bullish candle from this pump. This one? This one? Wait. This one? Dude, please go up, dude. Make this worthwhile. At least like push up to the highs so I can get a little bit more out of this trade. Damn, long live today, huh? We got trapped. We got stuck in this trade. We're going OT. Now, hopefully, I mean, at this point, I don't even care. Just take me out or go up or whatever. Like, I have a call I gotta do later. Pretty soon, actually. How far in profit did this go before it turned around? 39 points. Not enough. Alright, finally. Not a bad attempt. I wouldn't say that was a bad attempt. Low volume. Not a single 5-minute candle above 20,000 contracts. Failure to push higher. Multiple times. We even had buyers come in up here and they still failed to continue it. So, let's wait for this to stop me out. And then we'll call it a day. We'll be up 500 on the day, and we will have like $1,000, a little over $1,000 that we gotta make for next week. Should be pretty easy, as long as I just don't full port it and mess it up. And then I have these other alpha trader accounts I gotta trade, but I'm just sketched out about their platform right now, so I'm waiting. We're gonna trail. We're gonna lock in 100. If this 5-minute flips back bearish, we will get out of this trade. I know, right? I thought it was gonna stop me out and just went right back up. It's alright. Here it is. Here it is, right here. Oh, rocket's short now. You know what? Not a bad idea. That's why I'm trying my stop tighter and tighter, because this is not looking good for a continuation anymore. It's looking good for a second. But we'll take 100. We'll be up 5. Whoa. I'm getting out of it. Alright. We're up 562. And that's the end of that story. So we went long. because we were sitting here. I was waiting for us first to get above this area, and then I was watching this. We began to push up. We had a large buyer step in. As we pushed up, I went long. Was trying to target at least the highs, but really up here. It didn't want to continue. We had buyers not getting any type of price progression. Trailed stop. Got out. We're green. So I will catch you guys maybe on Monday, maybe not, because it's half day. So I'll probably be on actually. So I'll catch you guys Monday. I'll see you guys later. Peace.